Thank you indeed for staying right here with us. It's time to get talking, and the gentlemen are back here on the table of greatness. Bladunukim is back alongside doing
Not a man of many words.
Okay, so I see.
Well, I'm a man of many words, you know, and so it's a good day to be back. Fine stuff yesterday. Haaland keeps getting angry. He's now scored 19 in 12 games.
It doesn't make sense anymore.
Doesn't.
Well, let's start with a lady who's adding up the numbers as well, and she's not looking back. Iga Swiatek advances in Ostrava. Was always going the Iga way, wasn't it?
Definitely, right. She already led the first set 7-5, and then, you know, from the stories we got, you know, she dominated that game all through. And then it was at 2-2 the second set before Tomljanovic unfortunately had to leap off with the players since 2010. And then you look at the stats, you know, players have had over 60 plus wins, and all of them are not playing tennis anymore. She has just 2 more wins, you know, to equal that particular record too. She's had a crazy season, 3 Grand Slam titles. She's done so much for herself this year, and I'm so proud of her. Right, you know, kudos to her. Had a fantastic season so far, and as I said, 58 wins in the competition, and then she's in good position over and over again in space of 2 years. So she's got the quality. I'm so proud that she's gone so far in her career. I hope that she crosses the 60-win mark this season, and maybe set even more records for herself.
No, she's just 2 wins away from reach quality she's got and the level at which she's playing at the moment. 2. Well, it's just a matter of minutes, maybe. Let's leave there and head to Ostrava. Got a wild card blighted, and then you look at Paulo Badosa, you know, world number 4, and of course one of the top seeds here in this particular competition. Looked like this would be no match. Was advancing to the quarterfinals in Ostrava.
Well, home favorite, you have to say. Exciting game it was for me, especially from a Czech's point of view. And always you have to look at history. History indicates former world number 2 for both of them. Part was how long the game took and the intensity of that game. We saw 8 match points, massive 8 match points that Petra had to use to go on to win this one. Serious game it was, difficult it was, but you look at it from Paulo's standpoint.
Mari, how far does her leg carry her here?
Well, she's been good, basically, especially this tournament. You know, the talk about she being a wildcard in this competition. She's had a fair share of, you know, crazy runs, you know, injuries, you know, poor form and all of that. But she's faced this Badosa that gives her that confidence heading into next round of the competition. You know, so I'm expecting her to go very far. And definitely, she's also aiming to get at least, you know, a 12-level title to the bag before the end of the year. And the Ostrava Open, she can defeat Badosa, then she would say to herself, well, I can defeat anybody. You know, so because Badosa was the highest ranked, you know, player in this competition so far. So I'm looking forward to how she puts up performances week in, week out. But from here, I think it's progress.
Right now, let's talk about a player comes to mind now. Ruiz passed Christian Garin last week in Tel Aviv. All through, cruised to the title without dropping a single set, and was just picked up from where he left off in Tel Aviv, and now here in Kazakhstan. Same form, same old for
back to be participating in this competition, the 250 tour and the 500 event. Maybe we'll be waiting for the masters that will come up, the 1000 masters that will come up in a month's time or thereabout. But come on, it's basically he's looking forward to how to get to that position. He's ranked 15 now on the rankings potentially, and he's trying to add up the numbers. Basically, that's why we're seeing that level of performance. We're saying good performance from him. 1-6, 1-6, and getting to this level, exciting stuff. I think probably we might just see Djokovic go all the way and win this one.
He has to win, right? Because this is his chance of qualifying for the new ATP finals. He's gone, you know, to that tournament 14 times last.
Looking to make it 15.
You know, went to the French Open, right? You know, missed out of Wimbledon, unfortunately, and of course the US Open as well. So it's been here and there for him. So that's basically he's playing in an ATP 500 tournament because he wants to rack up the points in order to qualify. They're young stars and they're eager to qualify. You know, from the likes of Oja Alisame, you know, to Rublev and the rest of them. They also want to qualify. So it'll be crazy if Djokovic, a man that has made name for himself in the last 15-20 years in tennis, to not qualify for.
Now let's talk about players already qualified for the new ATP finals, and that is the man Stefanos Tsitsipas. Is that his fair share of struggles, is particularly about here in Kazakhstan, looking solid.
Yeah, good game for him within the blocks and building the energy heading into the new ATP finals. Seen of Italian Luca Nardi in that particular one. It was a straight set win, 7-6, 7-6 right there. So, well, looking at his quality, comparing that with Nardi tennis right now, he's had a fair share of mental struggles all through the season. You know, I always allude to the Wimbledon where he had a poor run of form. You know, he didn't even make it to a substantial stage of the competition, but he's doing very well for himself. And I like the film this season was for him to be the next man, you know, to succeed the big names, but it had to be Carlos Alcaraz. So he has to come back next season and do the very best.
Well, there's still many competitions to play this season.
Yeah.
So ought to find a way to get to win it.
Yeah.
In terms of the numbers for Tsitsipas, I think he's got the number. He got two this season. I've forgotten the first one. The second one was in Mallorca. Exceptional player, but not really at the pace we expected him to be, especially based on the rankings. Because early season we saw him in the top 5, and now he's
top 2 would be Denis Shapovalov and Francis Tiafoe, well, the man with the aces now. And just a couple of minutes ago, now can confirm for you that this man, Momir Kekmanovic, has stunned Danny Evans. But let's get back to the beginning. Talk about Denis Shapovalov and Francis Tiafoe doing their bit, advancing to the business end of the competition.
Well, it's basically what it is, especially for Tiafoe. Shapovalov had some good quality this where he got to the semi-finals, lost to Carlos Alcaraz, but it's been defining because we saw him at the Lava Cup, the Lava Cup did perform quite well, and moving forward is beginning to add the numbers. Before now, he's beginning to add up to the numbers, and when you want to mention a fair share names of players, you definitely have to add Tiafoe in. I really hope that it gets consistent, take this real form to the end of the season, and who knows what might happen the next season.
We've got football stories lined up for you. There's still the program. Here we're talking Sports Central. Be a part of the conversation. The numbers will be on your screen. You can join us via WhatsApp and let's get talking. Football stories afternoon, but let's see Japan nil. The Super Falcons of Nigeria nil. It's an international friendly. The Super Falcons against the Nadeshiko, who are ranked 13th in the world. We'll talk after now, but let's head back to the debt to champions from last year, AC Milan.